This is the ASIAIR Plus. Just got it. I'm going to unbox it here. It's packed very well. Came from ZWO. The nice white box that they have has a QR code on it, and you use that to download the software to your cell phone or tablet. The ASIAIR Plus has the antenna, and it has a very sleeker look. So let's take it off. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. We have a card that has the dream partners on it, and these are all the people who dedicated themselves to reviewing it. It's a nice program where they give you a discount if you volunteer to show this product to the public. It has an antenna, and the antenna is very good. I will use this to test it out in the field, because I had the ASIAIR Pro, I still have it, and I had trouble with the Wi-Fi if you moved away from it. This one has the power plug in the same spot, and this power button in the same spot. A reset button. The other one you used a paper clip. Reset button is a nice touch. And now the power plugs are on this side. Have 4 lights. It shows which one are activated. You can activate and deactivate them in the software. Has a DSLR jack if you have a DSLR. It works with DSLRs and a lot of ZWO cameras. I found the USB 2 ZWO 120 did not work with it, but all the ones after that did. And here is a wired internet. I use that with the other one to boost the signal. I hopefully won't need this for this. I'll show you in the testing that I do. And we have a USB 2 like the other one, a USB 3, and those are very valuable ports because you use your cameras in there, you use your mount, and you use your dew heaters. And the EAF, I have a EAF I'm going to try in there. And now we have a PC port here. This goes direct to the PC to download your files. So you can download your files easily from the ASIAIR to your computer. I mean, I just use the, this is a card here, an SD card port, and you can store a lot of storage on it. I've been using the PC stick, but I won't need it. I could probably use it in here now. And I have a lot of SD cards from cameras, and hopefully they will work in there. And that's basically it. It's a nice little package. And inside here we have the cords, and these are really heavy duty cords, and they send you some really good cords with this. I mean, I have so many extras now, it's ridiculous. And now we have a USB 3 cord too. And inside is a quick start guide, and also a activation guide, because you have to activate it online when you start it, but you only have to do it once. It's not too bad of an operation. You just do it once and it recognizes it, and then you can use your ASIAIR Plus. We'll see how that goes. So that's it, the ASIAIR Plus. And I just want to compare it to the ASIAIR Pro, which I also have, and I've been using for the last 3 months. I mean, I have the stick. This came with a 64 gig stick. I probably won't need it anymore, but I still can use it. And the operating system was here in the ASIAIR Pro, but it's inside an eMCC chip, which also has 20 gigs of storage. So you have extra storage inside also. I mean, I'll probably use this one. We'll see how that goes. And I'm going to show you some more on this. And this one, the software is really good. So, and they both work with the same software, which is really advantageous. I mean, this one will give you a few more features, like the power ports will show how much volts go to it, where this one don't. And also The DSLR port is on here also, in the same spot actually. So, you know, it's about the same type thing, except I needed more hardware with this. I needed this router so I could boost the signal. Now, this antenna is supposed to help. We'll see how this helps, and I'll try to test it out. I know how many feet this went with this. We'll see if that even goes farther. So that's the ASIAIR Plus. This is the Pro, which is the old one. It's still a very handy unit, and ZWO makes a lot of good products, and it goes with all the ZWO cameras. And you know, if you get ZWO, you really can't go wrong. The focuser is excellent also. I had it on this one and it worked perfectly, and the software is very easy to use. I'll show you through the steps as I go through it, and you know, it should be a good product. I think it will work very well, and they're always updating their software all the time, so it can only get better. Okay, that's the ZWO Plus, I mean the ASIAIR Plus, and this is Charlie, and signing off, and have clear skies everybody. Bye. I could have had it selected before I booted it up, but I want to show you every little step it takes. And it says it has no internet, which is true. And connects, and then it updates the firmware the first time you load it up. It's like an upgrade. They do upgrades quite often, and hopefully it ain't while you're imaging or while you're losing some nighttime. So I'm doing this ahead of time before I go outside. There's nothing connected right now, just the ASIAIR and the power. After the firmware update, it'll go through the activation sequence. And for that, you'll have to have the internet going. Right now, it's connected to the ASIAIR, and it must have downloaded the firmware before, because it's installing it right now. It says it'll take several minutes. So you don't leave the page, and you keep your power on, and it'll keep going. And firmware is something you could mess up if you turn the power off. So it'll take a little while. It says 56%, and it'll keep going. And everything is transferred. ASIAIR restarts, and it wants to do the online activation. And of course I'm not online because I had the ASIAIR as the Wi-Fi. So I'll have to get out of this. And go back on my home Wi-Fi. And then it connects to the internet. It got the authorization code, and it's getting it from, I don't know, the website. And now I have to go back and connect to ASIAIR Wi-Fi. Some people have done this with the phone and a tablet. I'm just doing everything on the tablet here. I mean, you can do it both ways. The thing is, you have to go back and forth and select the ASIAIR Wi-Fi again because it's on the internet. It has no internet because it connects to the ASIAIR, and then it's okay. Save the album. You can scan it to authorize directly next time. Hopefully there isn't a next time. I hope it's done. So now I'm into my menu here, and I have nothing because this is first startup. So I'll have to put in the latitude and longitude of the location I'm in. And of course I have no cameras hooked up now. So I'll select the latitude, and I like, I guess you can type it in, but I kind of like this menu here where you put in your latitude and longitude. It's just scrolling through with your finger. And there you are. Then you can hit enter. Um, of course, I have no cameras, but I'll be hooking them up when I go out, and it'll be all set up to run the next time I go out. And you go to the menu, and this is the menus that are available, and you're all set. So I'll just wait till it's clear out, and I can go outside and start using the ASIAIR Plus. This is a screen shooting the North American Nebula. I didn't use the polar alignment for this. I did do a couple of plate solves after I went to a shop star like Vega. I focused, did a plate solve, and then I was able to focus on Vega, and it's a very easy program to use. And right now it's shooting 40 frames of the nebula. You can see it in the light green fog there before I stretch it. The guiding has been between 2 and 3. So I have the guiding going, and it's just starting to level out because the RA is at 0 to 1. This program shows you the guiding going along with you shooting the pictures, and you can go from one to the other really quickly with your this is my tablet, and I'm shooting this with my phone. It's a very straightforward, simple program. I had a little bit to get it going right, but I have a beefier power for the ASIAIR now, and it seems to be running really well. Yeah, about 2.07 total. Guiding is I think the best I can do with the AZ-GTI, which isn't even meant to be a scope amount that is equilateral. It's mostly supposed to be a go-to mount. So, yeah, this is working really well, I think. So, and I got my camera down to -10, and it has all the information on the bottom of the screen there. I'm putting the gain at 100, and it's shooting, and it's going to take a while. I'm only on the 6th one out of 40, and then you can shoot darks and lights. I shoot them and then put them together later on my laptop. But this enables me, I don't have to bring a laptop out here, and everything is on my tripod. I got everything connected on the tripod. This is as far as I got until for polar alignment. It just wouldn't solve because of trees. It told me to stop it because it couldn't solve it. So I stopped it, and I went to Polaris. I decided to go to Polaris with the slewing, and just to find out where Polaris was. And because it was going to every star that I told it to. See, it started out with a plate solve, and then when it went to Polaris, I could see the trees there, and I tried to solve it. And it said success, but it wouldn't sync the mount because of the trees, I believe. So that's where I ended up using my polar alignment, because it would be nice. It would be nice if it was. It could solve even though it could not see. I don't know how many stars it requires, but I know that iPolar requires 3 stars, and I have done polar alignment with that. And so I went to the tonight's best to see where I could go next. And it has hit every target, just about. I mean, when you start out and point it north, and then you do some plate solving, it will go to your star or your place that that you set it to. Right here, I was going to go to IC 1396, which I believe is the Heart Nebula. See, it would be nice if they said in parentheses what the IC 396 is, because I always have to look it up to find out. I look it up on my phone while I got my tablet going to see what that is, because I didn't know what it was. I mean, it looks like a nice target, and it's going to it right now. I got the AZ-GTI, and it works good at slowing, but when I try to track, it gives me mixed results. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so good, sometimes it's okay. But I managed to get 120-second shots with it. That's the max, I think. I think one night I got 300 seconds, and that was a good night. But see, we're right in the middle just about. If you do the annotation, it'll show 1396 is right there, which is really good. I mean, I don't have to search so much anymore, because it's really hard to see when you're in a light pollution area, anything in the sky. But it does go, and I do sync to mount, just so it'll be sunk up, and these are the settings I used. These are the telescope settings. It does sync every time, the phone info. I mean, even though it's a tablet. I make sure cooling is on. I mean, you have to put that on sometimes. It doesn't go on right away. You have to put down the cooling. And I set all these just so I have all the information on the file name. And that's a good thing. I like that. And it said my scope was 298 millimeters. And here's the power settings. It's telling me 28.7 watts is my camera. The only thing I got hooked in there for power is the camera. And it seems a garnet star in the corner there, so it tells you, you know, exactly what is there. And this is the auto-focusing thing. This thing works perfectly. I don't know. I was close at first, but the one time I wasn't, and it really works. It's magic here. It just does a curve, and once it's saying it's focused, it usually is. So I mean, this is doing it by itself. I just hit play and it goes. Succeeded. That didn't take that long. This is real time here, so, you know, the focus is like perfect. I mean, this is the guide scope. Now, I put in the guide scope focal length. I guess I didn't put it in. And it's doing multi-star guiding here. It's doing its calculations. This sometimes can take a little while. And I haven't really got the right calibration numbers and everything. I mean, I've been guessing to try to make it better because the AZ-GTI has a hard time guiding. And I'm trying to get the perfect numbers so it would guide pretty good each time. But it'd be nice to save the settings of all these things, then I'd know which one works and which ones don't, instead of guessing every time. To say to bring up a setting that worked, you know, you save the settings. That's one thing that is in here. That would be nice, because you have different cameras and different you know, you probably have the same guide scope, but you'd have a different camera each time, and you know, it bases it off the guide camera, but it'd be nice to have the camera settings so you can reload them every time. And now it's going through its guiding. That was real time. It looks like it's off here. I mean, the circle's in the corner of the box. I'm not sure what that means, but you can see the numbers are high. Sometimes I have to stop it and reset it again, like I just did, I think. There we go. And then it's good. 1 and 4. The deck always has a lot more problems. Sometimes I don't put it on auto. I put it on north, and it seems to work better. And I'm not sure what those staggered lines are. Those corrections, the vertical lines going up and down. And it's pretty high here, especially deck. I think 1 or 2 is the best you're going to get with this mount. I never get 0 point something. And I keep trying to change the aggression. I mean, I've had it, well, I just went up to 95, trying to get it better. So I go back to the main screen here. You hit the little icon in the top left corner and you can go back to the main screen. And to go back to the guiding thing, you click on the guiding chart. You see, the guiding isn't terrific. It must be because I didn't actually get it polar aligned. It went through its 2 phases, and then on the last phase I couldn't get it refreshed because of the trees, but because my Polaris is always hidden behind trees. I'm going to have better luck in the fall after the leaves fall off, but I think I did get polar alignment in the winter one time. But it's hard during the summer when the trees' leaves are in the way. I haven't looked at these pictures yet, but I'm anxious to see how it looks with this horrible guiding. It solves, you know, the stuff solves, and it says synced. and annotate, and there it is. And see, I refreshed the guiding, and look at how low the deck went when I refreshed it. I stopped it and then started it again. Then it goes up from there. Oh, there it is. That doesn't look too bad. And that's pretty bad guiding. So, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it is not perfect because the guiding is off and so is the polar alignment. But you can get a pretty decent picture. I mean, you don't see obvious streaks. And I kept going back and trying to get better guiding. No, I'm at 95 and 55 now. Now I'm going up to 100. Trying to get the RA better because the RA seems to be the only one really working. Too bad. Keeps changing. And I had perfect skies too. I mean, the skies will determine this, and so will the clouds, or the visual scene. And I had a perfect night. As you can see stars like crazy. Here comes another 60-second one. And this is with the guiding fairly decent, 2-2. But you can go back and forth really easy. When I was doing PC, I had a PC stick. I had to go back and forth between PhD2 and astrophotography tool. I use both of those. And in comparison, this is a lot more intuitive and kind of instant. And there's my 60 seconds with the guiding better, and it doesn't look too bad. I gotta see how these are gonna look in the final. And here's my shooting schedule. I decided to start shooting. So I did those tests with preview first, and then I was going to the shooting schedule to do a bunch of I don't want it to delay too much. I just want it to shoot. So here we go, and you know, it defaults at 300, but I decided to try, let's see, what would I try on this? 180? Yeah, I was going to try 180. .30 frames at 180. I'm not going to show you all the 30 frames. Okay, this is my setup in the dark. I have the ASIAIR telescope connected up with the battery, and I have the ASIAIR on this platform, and I have another battery, and that's it, all wired up into my AZ GTI, and it's pointed up to the heavens with my ASI 533 and the ASI Mini 120 Mini. So this is the setup I use, and I built this little platform to put everything on it so that I didn't have to put weight on the telescope because it's heavy enough with the ASI 533 and guide camera, and I also have a focuser on there. I have the ASI focuser. So I was shooting the Veil Nebula tonight, and I might have a picture of that when this is all over. Okay, so that's my night scene.